Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, it's me, Josh, and here we have a game between the yellow Zerg Root CatZ. He is the Peruvian Zerg terror from Peru. He's on the top of Metalopolis, and his opponent today is going to be WhiteRa, better known as WhiteRa. He is the red Protoss on the right side of Metalopolis, and I just cast a game between D-Killer and Damaga where they had the same spawn positions. Of course, they were both Zerg players, but it feels a little bit like deja vu for me seeing these games back-to-back with the same spawn positions. Anyway, all of the round 1 tournament games for the Root Warzone Tournament were played on Metalopolis. They're all best of ones. Metalopolis is considered by most people to be the most balanced of the Blizzard map pool, so that's why the best of one series is being played on Metalopolis. And the fact that these have just gotten close flying positions 2 games in a row, it's just part of it. And the winner of this game will move on into a best of 3 format against another opponent, but the loser will go home with nothing and no chance at the $3,500 prize pool. I have not actually seen any of these games. I really wanted to watch the Root Warzone Tournament, didn't get a chance to watch hardly any of them. I don't even know who won the whole thing, even though the tournament's over, so I'm going to continue casting these as if this tournament was brand new and has never happened, and they are just now happening. So yes, some of these games are a bit older. Actually, this first round was played at the end of November. That's why the In Control versus Huck game, some of you said you saw it already. Can't help it. I hadn't seen it yet, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised with that one. If you haven't watched Huck versus In Control yet, go take a look at that one. It's pretty amusing. But we have WhiteRa scouting out this fast hatch by CatZ right now. WhiteRa not doing anything too sneaky with proxies or anything like that, just doing the very standard Protoss build. We'll see another pylon go up, followed by a Cybernetics core. CatZ, on the other hand, just content to expand first. No gas up yet. He's going to get spawning pool here at 15 food and then gas. Not sure if that is going to indicate banelings or speedlings. We'll see. Speedlings, usually you see the gas drop just a little bit before the spawning pool, but the hatch is kind of the wild card in that equation, whether a player goes 1 base banelings or not, or 1 base speedlings or 2. So we'll see what CatZ has up his sleeve, what he's got in mind for these close flying positions. Against a Protoss opponent, always important to keep in mind what race your opponent is when choosing your early game strategy. CatZ was able to get this hatch down without any kind of pylon interruption from WhiteRa. WhiteRa actually almost lost a probe here in his scouting efforts, but I believe he probably did see the entire base. Actually did not catch this extractor coming down, but saw the spawning pool coming. Can only expect extractor to be next, since you can't actually do anything beyond a spawning pool without an extractor. So Warp Gate Tech is being researched right now by WhiteRa. He's not using any chrono boost on it yet. Instead, looks like he actually chrono boosted his Nexus most recently to get some more probes. He's working on 2 gas now, so now that he has a Cybernetics core, he could actually switch to a Stargate or even a robotics facility. Might even potentially expand to his natural. He only sent a single zealot over here just to kind of see what was up and mess with CatZ, but CatZ has lings out now. He can get 2 lings around. Actually, this is the best spot for this zealot to be in. He only has to fight 2 lings at a time and can cleave right through them. Nothing really going on in the main right here. WhiteRa's just going to leave his zealot there to sort of interrupt CatZ's mining, but now that this queen is out, he can just jab away safely at this zealot without even taking any hits. So the zealot is going to go down in a blaze of glory. He actually managed to kill another ling there, a little bit unnecessary for CatZ, but a stalker now here, a single stalker. I wonder, it would take him so many shots to kill this overlord, over 20 I believe. I don't see that this stalker is going to be able to actually kill anything. Maybe a ling before he goes down. There's a ling. Queen moving to the edge of the creep now. WhiteRa trying to bait him off. He's still got some shield left. Now sending a second stalker here, so CatZ really needs to go into unit producing mode rather than worker producing mode. He's got Zergling speed researching, but does not have any further tech, Roach Warren or Baneling Nest. WhiteRa is dropping 2 more gateways right now, so it looks like he's going to be going mass tier 1, get those 4 gates. He's only got 3 right now, should be seeing 4 at any moment. He pulls his stalkers off for the time being, and it looks like he is dropping a pylon down here, which only means one thing to me, and that is that he's going to be expanding here. At his natural, he is comfortable with the amount of pressure that he put on CatZ early game, forced him to build some Zerglings instead of drones there, so it slowed down his macro game just a little bit. Now this Nexus is coming up, so WhiteRa won't be too far behind in the worker count. Having 2 chrono boosts, obviously, for this mass gate strategy is also extremely helpful. Duckload Raw, WhiteRa can actually build up to 6 gates right here and be able to support it off of just 2 Nexus. So we'll see what he actually ends up doing. Building that pylon right here, always a great move to see, especially for Protoss, and they can just warp in down the bottom there after their many gates are complete. Cuts that travel time so much. CatZ just poking in with a few lings, see what's going on. He'll see this Nexus going up, and now he'll have to decide what he's going to do about it. He is just constantly droning up right now and building that lair. Does not have a Baneling Nest, but he does have a Roach Warren up now. He's not actually producing any. Instead, he's just going to focus on workers to try and keep up with these gateway units of WhiteRa. And WhiteRa is keeping his spending under control quite well. There he is only down to 10 minerals and under 100 gas. He's got his 4th gate coming up right now. Obviously, you can see that's not totally walled off as he's sending his whole army there, but he's doing a decent job trying to do a little bit of a SimCity hook here so that CatZ can't just do Zergling run-bys. And now CatZ moving up a little bit with 15 Zerglings, probably going to be losing a couple of them. I don't see them really taking this force on head-on, especially with all these sentries. Duckload Raw has a decent number of sentries here for force fields. Obviously a great tool against all those speedlings. Now some roaches are starting to come out for CatZ, so he's starting to get some meat on the bones of his army, you could say. This lair is about to complete. Would not be surprised to see a spire going up, but roach speed, of course, is going to be the first upgrade that CatZ gets. And what was that just now? I just missed it. Evolution Chamber? Yes, double Evo Chamber. Okay, so CatZ is going to be going heavy ground army against the heavy ground army of WhiteRa. So we'll see which of these huge armies prevails here. WhiteRa is on the move. He's got 73 food in his army. CatZ is up to 91, but so many of those are workers. He's got 12 more workers than WhiteRa, and now he is supply capped here at 91 over 84. WhiteRa can continue to knock down these overlords. He's building pylons as he progresses across the map here. Ooh, another overlord goes down. Another overlord goes down. 91 over 68. That's terrible for CatZ. He's not going to be able to reload during this fight. All these force fields going down, preventing the roaches from getting at these stalkers. All the lings basically just genocided there into that wall of stalkers. Now the roaches finally get some shots off. This constant force field on the ramp prevents these roaches from being able to do anything, and CatZ army is just whittled away. Overlords first, then the lings, then the roaches. WhiteRa being very mechanical with his attack, aiming for these overlords again, just floating over there with no protection. CatZ supply capped yet again, 90 over 76 there for a second, and WhiteRa has this forward pylon complete, so he can just warp in, and CatZ not looking good for him, I have to say. All these roaches continue to go down as more stalkers join the fray. All these overlords are being pulled now to soak some shots, but CatZ just cannot keep up. He doesn't have the larvae required to keep up with this constant warping in from WhiteRa. So any moment now, I'm probably going to be seeing a GG as these last roaches fall. This hatch may or may not go down before we see it. There is the GG. So WhiteRa takes that game off of CatZ. CatZ has been eliminated from the Root Warzone, and WhiteRa will move on into the best of 3 rounds. If you want to find more information about this tournament, you can go to root-gaming.com. I'm going to cast some more games here on this channel, so please stick around if you're interested.